Hey guys, what's up? It is Preach as always. So in today's video, the gameplay that you are going to be seeing is some sniping highlights that I had over this weekend. But more importantly than the gameplay is the topic that we are going to discuss today, and that is 3 things that should never, ever, ever be in Call of Duty again. And of course, this is just my opinion. It's totally subjective. So I'm going to want your thoughts and opinions down in the comments section below. Before we jump into the topic, though, you guys know what to do. If you like this video, smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new here. Turn those bell notifications on so that you guys know when I post new content. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into this video. Let's jump into the topics at hand. The first thing that I think should never, ever, ever be in Call of Duty ever again is Last Stand, or as it is known in Modern Warfare 2 that we are playing here, Survivor. It is a perk, if you're not familiar with it, that allows the player to continue to survive or live after they have been shot and lost a gunfight. So they fall into a downed state like you would see in a battle royale where they can be revived. Now, they can be revived by a teammate nearby, they can self-res, or they can be finished off while they're in that position. And the problem that this creates is when you are trying to get kill feeds, sometimes you'll shoot the person, you will down them, but then your teammate will finish them off, and your teammate gets the kill within the kill feed and also within the game. So this can affect your kill-death ratio. This can affect your kill feeds if you're going for things like that. It's just overall really annoying. You can also absolutely just lose the ability to kill them altogether if something like this scenario happens. That happens a lot. So say you're playing Strike and they're up camping in a window behind a balcony on the other side of the map, and you snipe them out of that position and you hit a beautiful shot and it's a great play, and that really help your team because it gets that person out of that position. But all because they just simply equipped Survivor or Last Stand as a perk, they fall behind that balcony. You can't still shoot them to finish them off because they're behind it. They self-res, they get up, and they're still right back there. No worse for the wear. They don't have a death, you don't have a kill, and they're still in that advantageous position, even though you won the gunfight. And so the reason I don't like it is because it narrows the skill gap. It allows somebody to continue to live within the game even though they lost the fight that they were having. And I personally am not a fan of that at all. And you'll notice the common theme between all 3 things that we discussed today is that all 3 of them narrow the skill gap in some way, shape, or form. So Last Stand, if you run it, I get it. I know why you do it. It's super annoying. I can't stand when people are running it, but I don't blame people. I blame the developers. It just should not be in the game. In Black Ops 1, if you remember from that iteration, what Last Stand was then, you just got a pistol and you were able to still shoot, but you still died a couple seconds later. So if you put someone in Last Stand, you were guaranteed to get the kill, but they could still kill somebody else or kill you. And I didn't like that either then, but this is even worse because they might be able to get back up, and I am not a fan of that at all. So that is number 1. Last Stand or Survivor as a perk should never, ever, ever be in Call of Duty again. Number 2 is High Alert. High Alert, if you're not familiar, is the perk that turns your screen orange when somebody sees you from behind, alerting you that you have been seen by somebody that you were unaware of. Somebody that is off your screen at the moment is able to see you. And this does several things. The first thing it does that's really annoying is sometimes it gets you killed by a person you weren't even planning on killing, because the game thinks you saw them because they were within your field of view, but it might not even be somebody you were looking at, and it alerts them that you're there, and they turn around and kill you. Number two, what it does is it makes people, and this is the really crucial thing, not have to have map awareness, not have to learn map awareness, not have to gain map awareness. And it doesn't mean that if you run it, you don't have map awareness. Somebody who's really good with that could be running it, and it just makes it even easier for them. The rare moment that they're not aware, they get bailed out by it. But mostly it helps the person who has no awareness at all, who doesn't know how to read the map, who doesn't know where people are coming from, who has no understanding of that. It helps them keep from getting flanked because it tells them somebody is behind them. And it's a common theme in Modern Warfare 2. They really wanted to avoid sneaking up on people and killing them and avoid flanking for kills with perks like High Alert, which this is not the first game that's been in, but it still shouldn't exist. But if you mix High Alert with the fact that you can't run Dead Silence, with the fact that you make all kinds of noise, there is no way you're ever sneaking up on people within Modern Warfare 2. And High Alert is a perk that should never, ever, ever be in Call of Duty ever again. It is absolutely terrible that you're just going to narrow the skill gap and give somebody free information that somebody is looking at them. It makes it to where if you see somebody that's not facing you, you can't hesitate, you can't delay the kill, you can't necessarily go for somebody else because you see them and you know they're not paying attention, so you'll worry about them later. You see them, you have to kill them because they could have high alert and turn around and kill you. It's incredibly annoying. I don't like it. I don't think very many people do that are higher skill players, and I don't think very many people do who are players who like to flank and take those off odd routes, because you get behind somebody and the game just tells them that you're behind them. No matter what you did, no matter what you strategized, no matter how smart you played it to get behind them without them knowing, they know because they have high alert. So again, that should never, ever, ever be in Call of Duty. But that brings me to number three. And this one probably annoys me the most out of all three. And the reason that I think it should never, ever, ever be in Call of Duty ever again is probably because I run into it more than the others. But it absolutely drives me nuts. So you already know that I don't like riot shields in general if you watch my channel much. But what I really cannot stand and should never be in Call of Duty again is riot shields worn on the player's back, giving them protection from behind. Now, I know the instant argument here is going to be, well, that's realistic. If somebody had a riot shield on their back in a real fight, they would be much harder to shoot from behind. I get that. I really don't care. I don't care about the realism aspect. I care about the gameplay. And here is what matters for the gameplay. A person who has chosen to run this as their secondary weapon gets protection from areas that they aren't watching. Very similar to high alert telling you I'm behind you. It does me no good to get behind you if you have the riot shield. I can't shoot you in the back. I can't do anything about it. So me having, quote, good positioning, smart positioning for the general use of Call of Duty does me no good if you have the riot shield on your back. And if I have an automatic weapon, there are things I can do to combat this a little bit. It takes me more bullets, but I can shoot you in the feet and try to kill you. I waste extra ammunition that way, but it can be done. If I have a single shot weapon, like a crossbow, marksman rifle, sniper rifle, something like that, there's not really much I can do. I can try to shoot you in the feet, but I'm going to have to shoot you twice. So if I have a bolt that cocks, anything like that, I'm going to have to shoot you and hit you in the feet twice to kill you if you have a riot shield on your back and you're not facing me. And what you see this spammed in a lot is the 24/7 shipment playlist. You will see guys running around with riot shields on their back. They never actually get it out and put it in the front at all. It just protects their back, and they run around trying to help their KD not die as much. And again, it's one of those things, it's there to use, so I understand why people use it. So I just wish it was not in the game. If you want to have riot shields in the game, in general, I understand it, but when they are not out as the weapon being used, when they're in the secondary position and they're not being held out front, they should offer no protection. My pistol does nothing for me. Nobody else's rifle, nobody else's anything does anything for them when it's in the secondary position. But riot shields still do their primary job while in the secondary position on the back. And that should not be a thing within Call of Duty. So that concludes the 3 things I think should never ever exist again within Call of Duty: Last Stand, High Alert, and riot shields being worn on the back to give you protection. This could be controversial, so if you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments section below. And as always, like this video, subscribe, turn those bell notifications on if you want to know when I post a new video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Preach out.